Hi, I'm Aaron Catlin with Sound Design and Innovation. We're standing in Northside United Methodist Church. This is their traditional sanctuary. It's about a 750 seat room, all in traditional seating, pews, all hard surfaces, very, not exactly a user-friendly environment for modern technology. So we have done an upgrade in this room, and what we've done here is we added a much more modern PA system and a much more modern video and lighting system to allow this room to be used for a much larger variety of applications. Typically, it would take one or at least two operators to run a room this size with all this equipment. What we've done though is we've actually added KeyDigital's Compass system. So now for small events like weddings and funerals and stuff like that, or something where the pastor just needs to come in and do a Bible study in here or something like that, and all these things happen here. This is a pretty active church. They can literally just come in and push a button. The system even has the ability to call up presets on the audio console, and we're actually in the process of interfacing with the lighting system right now. This time we're in the chapel at Northside United Methodist Church, and we're going to show you a little bit about what we've done with the Compass control system in here. We've also got Alan Morrison, who is the technical director here at the church, and Alan headed up the project from the church's end when we built the systems. So you can see we've got an iPad mini sitting here, and with this project, Alan really wanted the interface to resemble what Apple has done with the newer iOS 7 types of interfaces. So we've gone with a lot of light, coloring, and it's actually a good example as far as uses of graphics of what the system for Compass is really capable of. Because we can change any button to any image to anything, and it makes a really cool interface. So what we've done here is when you hit the on button, it takes a minute because it runs through all the power-up commands for the system. But then we have a very simple touch menu that goes along with it. So when you touch video, it brings up some options. If you go to video sources, the source options comes up, and when you touch one of those, it switches the video input and the audio follows it. But if you hit the audio button, it takes us to all the audio options. Now, we have a lot more audio options. Some of these are mutes, some of these are source selects, and we have two different options for faders. People who just want to control volume, and people who actually want to control independent levels. We're getting all of this up and running with an Allen Heath GLD80. And yes, the control system actually does move the faders on the console, which is wicked cool. To take it a step further, we can even move the screens up and down and turn the projectors on and off as well. And that's pretty basic stuff for a control system. But basically, we have multi-zone control in this building, in the sanctuary, in the chapel, and we're hoping to add it to their Faith and Arts Center, which is their contemporary room. And we can do it all from a very simplified app on an iPad, or even an iPhone if we want to do it that way. And there's very little in this building that can't be controlled technology-wise from this system.
What we really wanted to do with this version of the app was, we have a lot of people who don't know anything about technology here. So they don't know that you might have two different video sources that could run against each other, or audio sources that might be coming in linked with the video sources. So we wanted to make it incredibly easy for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing to pick the Apple TV and have the audio automatically go live on that. But they might think, well, wait, I want to turn the audio up. Then they're obviously going to, out of these choices, they're going to think, well, that's on sound. And if the default setting comes up and all they see is volume, they're going to want to grab this and turn it up. It's going to be incredibly easy for them to think about turning up and down the fader control, not in a way that we would think about it, like in faders and different actual inputs. They're just going to see one fader and go, oh yeah, but they see, oh, I can change my sound to the HDMI sound, and it actually changes the sound from Apple TV to HDMI without having for them to think about muting and unmuting multiple channels.
It's about as easy of an interface as you could come up with. And Alan, and I gotta be honest, we're the installer and the programmer, and we do this stuff, but this time the interface was all Alan's idea. It was a really good one. So he spent hours creating the graphics for us, and we just imported them. And it was easy.
Even down to like simplified things like powers on the system. we don't need to think about, let's go to the chapel, let's power everything on. It just turns on everything that they would want to use.
And off turns it off.
When you want to turn it off, you hit power, you turn it off. And the other buttons aren't enabled until you actually need them, so you're not going to be pushing something that you don't need to push when there's nothing going on. And so that's what we'll see. Chapel and then sanctuary will eventually be here. Hopefully our other room will eventually be right here. You'll just select the room, power it on, and then be good to go.